Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals. This team has been the biggest shock in the NFC. They took care of business last week against the Chicago Bears, and all season long, this has been one of the toughest teams to beat in the NFL. Now, you may look at their defense and say, hey, they're not a top-tier defense in the NFL, but at the same time, they have an amazing defensive head coach in Jonathan Gannon, and every single week, they're making game plan adjustments, and it varies by team. We saw what happened in today's game against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. When Tyron Smith went down, everything went to hell for the New York Jets. And even before he went down with that neck injury, they had the game plan on lock. Stop the run game and stop the deep plays. They put bodies on Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams as well, and they were getting after Aaron Rodgers. And that has been the theme with the Arizona Cardinals all season long. They can generate pressure up front. And I'm happy for Jonathan Gannon because this is a man that got a bad rep for when the Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in that Super Bowl a couple of years ago, because the players cannot go out there and they cannot sack Patrick Mahomes. But he proved last season and this season he can coach up a full team. You have Drew Petzing at the offensive coordinator position, and you have one of the youngest defensive coordinators in the NFL as well on this coaching staff. Well, he is the youngest defensive coordinator in the NFL. When I look at the Arizona Cardinals, you're in a great situation. You went out there, you defeated the Los Angeles Rams in great fashion a month ago. You went out there, you defeated the San Francisco 49ers by a field goal. This is the best Kyler Murray has looked since the team made the NFL playoffs with Cliff Kingsbury many years ago. Kyler Murray's getting the football out quick. He's been great against pressure. They're getting the football to Marvin Harrison Jr. and to Trey McBride as well. And in today's game against the New York Jets, they were sending pressure towards Kyler Murray the entire day, but it didn't faze him. And that's a very underrated aspect to Kyler Murray in his game. The man was 22 of 24 in a day, 266 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. But it's more than just passing the football with Kyler Murray. He's one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the NFL. We know that he can run around and make crazy throws, and he can make some crazy runs as well. But it's more than just him. This is a top rushing team in the NFL. They can run the football with some of the best teams, with James Conner, with Amari, and with Trey Benson as well. They have 3 running backs that will give you problems. But James Conner last season had over 1,000 yards rushing for the first time in his NFL career. And you look at James Conner this season, he's one of the best power backs in the NFL. That man's going to run through anyone on the defensive side. It's going to take more than just 1 or 2 defenders to bring him down, more times than not. So this offense, they can beat you at all 3 levels. You have Michael Wilson, who's a very good wide receiver. You have Marvin Harrison Jr., who is a true number 1. He can beat you everywhere, going deep, intermediate routes, and underneath as well. He is the definition of a do-it-all wide receiver. Like I mentioned before, Trey McBride was a top receiving tight end in the NFL last season. We always hear about guys like George Kittle and Travis Kelce, rightfully so, but he was right there with those guys in terms of receiving yards. And now you hear about the rookie with Brock Bowers with the Las Vegas Raiders. Pay attention to Trey McBride. He has been a phenomenal tight end since he touched down with the Arizona Cardinals. And the offensive line has looked better as well. This is one of the most underrated offensive lines in the NFL. Paris Johnson Jr. was a rookie last season. Showed a lot of good, showed a lot of bad as well. He was a rookie. This season, he looks like a premier tackle in the NFL. He looks like a franchise tackle, and he has gotten better week by week by week. And you look at this situation with Kyler Murray. He's a top quarterback against the blitz, which is crazy to think about because this is a quarterback that you look at in Kyler Murray. You'll think that they just put him in shotgun the entire game because that's what he did in high school. That's what he did in college. And he did that with Cliff Kingsbury. But you saw a lot of interesting things last season with Drew Petzing. Kyler Murray missed the first half of the season. He was still recovering from that ACL injury that he suffered against the New England Patriots Monday Night Football year before. So they had Josh Dobbs, and they went out there, they defeated the Dallas Cowboys. They moved off of Josh Dobbs. They bring back Kyler Murray. They're not a shotgun. They have him under center. For the first time in his career in the NFL, they run plays from under center majority of the time. And then when they get into shotgun, they still have James Conner on the right side of him. So now you don't know what they're doing. It could be a keeper with Kyler Murray. It could be play action. And if it's play action, you better hope that you have an extra safety over the top with Marvin Harrison Jr. I go back and I look at this Cardinals team from week 1. They had the Buffalo Bills beat dead to rights. The only thing was this. Kyler Murray did not see Marvin Harrison Jr. going deep, because if he did, they win that football game. But unfortunately, he didn't. And since then, they have found a way to get Marvin Harrison Jr. to football even more, but they're not forcing him to football. It works into the game plan. And I like what Kyler Murray said after that week 1 loss. He said, it's not my job to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the football. He basically played the media, because the next game against the Los Angeles Rams, they went out there and they featured him early in the game, early and often. Everyone knows that he's the number 1 guy. He's going to be a great wide receiver. How Larry Fitzgerald was so legendary for the Arizona Cardinals for many years, that's the potential that Marvin Harrison Jr. has. His dad was a legend. He can be a legend in his own right. But I look at this Cardinals team. They're very young. You have a quarterback in Kyler Murray. The national media has disrespected this kid. The old regime did that as well. They had a terrible general manager, and Cliff Kingsbury at the time was a terrible head coach. They had a clause in his contract where he plays video games too much. He's not studying enough film. Why would you put that out about your quarterback? He's immature. You have Patrick Peterson coming out saying negative things about him. You look at him this season, he's a complete leader. He's getting guys to the right situations. He's on the sideline making sure that the offense is staying pumped up the entire time. To see them have this success right now, I love to see it. It's amazing. And you look at this division, it's up for grabs. You have the San Francisco 49ers. Like I mentioned before, you already beat them. You have the Los Angeles Rams. They're a top-tier team in this division like the 49ers. You beat them as well. You have the Seattle Seahawks. They're at the bottom of this division. And the Arizona Cardinals match up with them very well. This is the first time in Kyler Murray's career in the NFL that he has had a competent head coach in Jonathan Gannon. Drew Petzing, I have a lot of questions about him still, but the offenses look better week by week. They're running the football more and they're getting more guys involved on that end. This defense, they just made a move to go over there and to bring in Baron Browning from the Denver Broncos because you needed pass rushing help. You have Xavier Collins. He's starting to catch on as a pass rusher. This is the man that you spent a first-round pick on, just like Justin Simmons. But they moved on from Justin Simmons. They traded him to the New York Giants. You have Sean Murphy-Bunting. He gets a lot of hate, rightfully so. I like Sean Murphy-Bunting in certain situations. He's not a true number 1 cornerback in the NFL, unfortunately, but he is a veteran. He's been around the NFL for quite some time. But you have a guy in Garrett Williams. I like him a lot at the cornerback position. I think he's very good. Budda Baker is still a very good safety. He's become underrated, in my opinion. You don't hear much about him at the safety position. You hear about Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, Mika Fitzpatrick. This man is special in his own right. He's a very good player. Don't sleep on him. And they have a very good run-stopping defense at times. If your offensive line is not overly aggressive, they're going to make you pay because of the system with Jonathan Gannon. They may not have the names on defense, but these are up-and-coming guys that fit this system with Jonathan Gannon. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals? This team does not get much coverage, and I don't understand why. When they went out there and they beat the Chicago Bears last week, you had a lot of people saying, you know what, the Chicago Bears, they weren't fully focused. They were still dealing with the Hail Mary hangover. This is the NFL. This is a week-to-week league. What happened last week is what happens last week. You go out there, you perform better this week. And the Arizona Cardinals have done that. They shut out the noise, and they've gotten better. This is a team that had a rough patch at the beginning point of the season. And you also look at this situation right here against the Los Angeles Chargers, one of the most physical teams in the NFL. They went against them on Monday night. They outplayed them. They put bodies on bodies at the line of scrimmage, and they got physical. That is what a head coach does with a team in practice. Because right before halftime, you had Jonathan Gannon go to the sideline reporter and say, hey, I like what we're doing. We need to be more aggressive, and we have to play faster. He made adjustments in the second half, something Arizona Cardinals coaches haven't done in the last couple of years with Cliff Kingsbury. This is a dangerous team in the NFC, and give them their respect. We could talk about the New York Jets and say Aaron Rodgers this, Aaron Rodgers that. They went out there and they clowned Aaron Rodgers. They went out there, they just had a major win over the Houston Texans on Thursday night. They got completely embarrassed by Kyler Murray. And that's a top passing defense in the NFL. And he looked phenomenal today. Give Kyler Murray his flowers and give the Arizona Cardinals their respect because they deserve it. But if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.